Hey everybody, Everett here. Welcome to the most basic music theory lesson ever, part 1. You'll see I'm rocking my Florida State Seminole gear today. I love my Seminoles. If you're a Gator fan or a Hurricane fan or maybe a Clemson fan, sorry. Hopefully you'll want to learn something about music from me today anyway. You can forgive me for my loyalties to Florida State. Anyway, I do recommend that all my adult beginner students learn at least a little bit of piano as a foundation for understanding music theory. So today we are going to go to the piano and we're going to learn some of the super ultra basics of music theory. So if you already know about music theory, maybe this video is not for you. This is super basic day one kind of stuff. So first, this might be the most important thing I say in the video. Music theory is, for many people, really intimidating and anxiety producing. I have seen students' eyes glaze over when I try to teach this stuff. It's actually a look I recognize very well. I used to teach statistics in a public policy program, and statistics students sometimes get this same look in their eyes, trying to come to understand a brand new concept, like a mathematical concept, a theoretical concept. It can inherently produce anxiety. So I want you to be willing to just sort of exist with this anxiety inside you. Just tolerate it. Put yourself through this. It's really going to pay off. It's so good to learn this stuff. Fortunately, there is no test at the end of the semester. You aren't on a deadline having to master music theory by a certain date. You can watch this video over and over and over again, or you can watch other videos, or you can read books, or you can ask your teacher for additional help. Give yourself as long as you need to hear these concepts over and over again as your brain goes about building the billions of new connections that it needs for real deep understanding to take root. I promise you'll get there. It may take months. Let it take months. Let yourself be a little uncomfortable. Learning new concepts is always uncomfortable. Okay, so let's get down to business. Let's go over to the piano keyboard. I've got a keyboard right here behind me. Hopefully you have access to a piano or to a keyboard of some kind. If you do, try to get that keyboard in front of you right now while you watch this. And I strongly encourage you to spend some time with this. If you're a guitar student, this is going to be a great way for you to learn music theory. So hopefully you have a keyboard. Now, look at your piano keyboard, and you will see a repeating pattern of black and white keys. You'll see groups of 2 black keys, and you'll see groups of 3 black keys, and it repeats 2, 3, 2, 3. The white key underneath the group of 2 black keys, this white key right here that's just underneath this group of 2, that is C. That key is called C. Now each white key is assigned a letter name, and we only use the letter names A through G. So there is no note called H. So if this is C, then the white key just above C is D, the next letter in the alphabet. And the white key just below C is B. The white key below that is A. Okay, so C, B, A. The white keys then, starting with A, are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then we're back to A again. And this series repeats from the low all the way up to the high notes. So I'll demonstrate. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A again, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and so on, from low to high. If you don't know how to identify the different keys on the keyboard, now is definitely the time to learn it at this stage in your playing. Do it early. Everything in your musical life from this day forward is going to be a lot easier if you can identify the keys on the piano keyboard. Actually, I want you to pause this video and spend about 5 minutes learning the names of the white keys. Just write yourself a list of random letters, like say, make it go D, A, F, E, G, C, B, A, B, G, C. Just write them down. And make yourself go and hunt and find them on the piano keyboard. Hunt and find each one and learn where the white keys are in relation to that 2 and 3 black key pattern. So learn how to find the different keys, and on the low parts and on the high parts of the keyboard. So do this for about 2 minutes every day until you're really familiar with the keys. It'll take you a few days probably. I especially want you to be able to find the key C. Really want you to be able to look at a piano keyboard and immediately be able to find C. You'll see why in a minute. But go ahead and do your 2 minutes now, and then come on back to the video. Okay, welcome back. Now there is one item of terminology I'm going to introduce: the half step and the whole step. A half step is how far you travel when you move from any one key to an adjacent key. It doesn't matter whether you're moving from a white key to a white key, or that's a half step, or from a white key to a black key, say that, or this, or from a black key to a white key, of course. Anytime you're moving from one key to the very adjacent key, you are moving a half step. 2 half steps then make a whole step. So when you're moving 2 adjacent keys, say from here, 1, 2, to here, or from here, 1, 2, from here to here, you're moving a whole step. You're probably asking, why don't they call moving to the adjacent key just a step, and then call moving 2 keys a double step? Well, there are 2 answers to that. The first answer is, well, just don't worry about it. The terminology is used by musicians worldwide, so just get used to it. But there actually is a more musically meaningful answer, and it is that the whole step, even though it is a movement from one key to a key 2 adjacent keys away, it still sounds to the ear more like a step than a jump. In fact, to verify that it sounds more like a step, try playing C, D, E, D, C, like this. Do you hear how it sounds like I'm playing notes that are next to each other? If you close your eyes and listen to it. Those notes sound like they're next to each other. They sound like steps, not like jumps. Like those sound like jumps. These sound like steps. So we have half steps and whole steps. They both sound like steps. So now I want to show you how to build a C major chord. Start by playing a C note somewhere in the middle of your keyboard. We'll stick with this one. Next, play the E note 2 white keys above it. Okay, so C, D, E. Now add the G note 2 white keys higher still. 1, 2. So C, D, E, E, F, G. Play all those together. See that I am playing 3 white keys, and there is a white key in between each 2 white keys that I'm playing. So there's a white key in between this one, in between C and E, that's D, and there's a white key in between E and G, that's F. So I play C, then skip a key, I play E, and then skip a key and play G. C, E, and G make up a C major chord. Why is this C major as opposed to, like, it's got an E and a G in it, why isn't it E major or a G major? It's C major because the lowest note in the chord, is C. That's why it's C major. Now, I'm going to encourage you to play an exercise 5 to 10 times a day. This is going to be terrific for you beginning guitarists. Place your right hand so that your thumb is on C. place one finger on each of the next 4 white keys. So place a finger on D, E, F, and G. Now slowly play from C to G and back down again, like this. And after you've done that, play your major chord. C, E, and G. If you're more comfortable playing your major chord with these 3 fingers, a lot of beginners are much more comfortable playing it with thumb, index, and middle finger. That's okay with me. This thumb, middle, and pinky finger, that's how piano players would play that chord. So if you want to make yourself do it this way, that would be a good setup for any future piano skills you want to develop. But nonetheless, up and down. Up, back down, and then do it again. Of course, what you're doing is you're training your ear to hear C major, to see what you're training yourself to see what notes are in C major, and you're also training yourself to hear the notes in the C major scale, and all 5 of these notes are in the C major scale. You're training your ear to hear those notes in relation to a C major chord. I would do that little short exercise about 10 times a day maybe for a few days until you're really comfortable with it, and then come back and watch part 2. And as always, remember, enjoy your practice, be easy on yourself, make sure your practice is fun, relaxing, enjoyable. When I say be easy with yourself, I mean if you start to feel a little anxiety, you start to feel a little frustrated, like you're just not getting it, that's totally fine. Slow down, maybe count to 10, take a few deep breaths, try again. There is no rush to learn this. You've got the rest of your life to learn it, and someday, pretty soon, I promise you, music theory is actually going to be second nature to you. All right, see you for part 2.